Hi there. How are you? Oh, I'm so good. It's your first day here, right? Wonderful. I was so excited you accepted the librarian assistant position. I've been in need of so much help, so I'm very excited. Let me just set these aside. So, today's your first day. And have you been an assistant before? Okay, so you have a little bit of practice. That's great. So why don't I start off telling you a little bit about the job, a little bit about the library and myself, and then we can start your training, okay? Perfect. So day to day can fluctuate. Some days it's really busy, some days it's slower, just depends. So the first topic I'll go over is library cards. And let me just bring up our system here. So you'll be dealing with library cards very often since you'll be at the front desk. So when somebody wants one, you'll just have to ask for their name, date of birth, and home address. Our system here, you can see, has all of the fields that you need to fill out, and then it will print out the card. So it's very easy. And let's see, there's no age restriction, so children can have cards as well, which they love. And it gives access to obviously all of the books here, but also the DVDs and our online collection of ebooks. Just in case people ask, because they do quite often. And then once somebody's a member of the library, they can also use the computers right over there. And I will say the computers get filled up fast, so they are popular. And there is a 1 hour time limit for the computers, just so you know. So next up would be book clubs. So let me tell you a little bit about those. We have a children's book club. It meets Saturday mornings. And it's kind of a time for read aloud children's books. And kids of all ages are welcome, which is great. It is a very filled room on Saturday mornings, so if you're ever available, I'd love the help. There's also an adult book club, which I believe meets bi-weekly. Let me just check here. Yes, bi-weekly. So it's a different book every month, and anybody can join. It's a great way to meet others in the area and share your love of books. So, highly recommend it, and you can join if you want to. And then to sign up, you can see right here there's a form online they can sign up with, or we can just sign them up here as well. Now let's talk a little bit about looking up books. So, one of the biggest jobs you'll have is helping people find books, and then also checking out the library books. So let's start with looking up books first. So when somebody is looking for a specific book, you're just going to log into our database here. It's just the second tab. And I'll set you up with access, don't worry. So you'll type in the author, the book title, and then the computer will show you what section, row, and shelf the book is on, and if it's available or not. So if it's not available, we could request it from another local library for the customer. So that's a common thing that a lot of people do. Usually only takes a few days to get in. And let's see what else. So if somebody has trouble finding a book, they may also ask you to help them find it, which is fine. Just make sure there's not a really long line before you go do that, especially if we're short-staffed. But I do that quite often because it is kind of overwhelming to find books in this library. And of course our customers can also use our book search system as well on the computers, but sometimes they just prefer to come to us, which is fine. So do you have any questions so far? I know it's a lot, but you're going to be great. I think you'll pick it up very fast. So what I figured we'd do now is maybe show you how to check out the books. We are an old school library here, so even though we do check out the books in our database, we also fill out these cards as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that and how to inspect each book before it's checked out. So why don't you go grab some books, either that you'd like to check out yourself or even just random books, and I'll take you through the process. Alright? Perfect. I'll see you in a few minutes. Well, I see you found a nice stack, and are those what you're actually planning to check out? Perfect. Then it will be a very realistic practice. Let me just make some room here, and we'll get started. So what you'll need is a stamp. So we do have the old school stamp, and we also have ink pads. So those are the main things you'll need. And then of course, the cards I was talking about. So we have a lot of colors, doesn't matter what you use. And I will show you how to use them. Alright? So let's start going through books. So here's the first book. Let's see. The First Thing About You. Basically, the first thing you're going to do is inspect the book. So the reason we do that is we want to make sure we're not sending home any books that will fall apart. Clearly, the newer books are likely to not fall apart, but we check anyways. So the first thing you're going to do is just open the book, check the spine. All of our hard copy books should have this plastic wrap on it to protect the cover, and just some tape here and here. So as you can see, this is wrapped nicely, and that's something you might help us with as well. So you're just going to want to flip through a few pages. Sometimes in books you'll find pieces of food or really large tears. So you just want to make sure you don't see anything like that. And yeah, this book just came out, so it doesn't look like it's been checked out too much. Alright, so after you've checked the book, you'll just want to grab a card, and then at the top you'll see a spot for the author and the title, and then the due date and the borrower's name. So this one was actually used before, but we're just going to write over top of it. So first, we'll put the author's name, Chaz Hayden. Jaden. And the first thing about you. So then you would put the borrower's name. We see previously it was Falling Up ASMR. So you could just put the next person's name right underneath. I do have to move this one to October 2022. Okay. And now with dates, typically it's a 30-day rental. Sometimes it's a little bit longer though, so you want to check the system. Then you'll just get some ink here and stamp it. Oops, I did this one upside down. But it's okay. You'll make mistakes too. Don't worry about it. So you want to do that, and then just stick this right underneath you. Okay. And like I said, just double check the system for the rental period. And there's also a barcode on the back of every book. And that's what you'll actually scan to check it out in the system. Okay? Like I said, I know this card system is very old, but it works for this library and what we prefer. So this one is a paperback. The first thing you'll notice is there's no plastic cover. Paperbacks do not have them, so you have to just double check that everything is extremely taken care of on these. So you're just going to want to open these ones up as well. And again, check the spine, look for ripped pages, just make sure it's in pretty good condition. So this looks pretty good. It's definitely more worn, but not too bad. And this is a kid's book as well. Well, technically it's kids or adults, but you'll see for a lot of books that kids do check out, they might be a little bit more rough around the edges. So just pay close attention. You'll put the author's name. And then again, the borrower's name and the due date. Okay? And then just put it right inside. Perfect. So another hard copy. This one actually is not wrapped yet. So we had a previous copy of this book that got badly damaged, so I might actually have you wrap this one later today. So this is a better copy. It's not brand new, but you can tell it hasn't been loaned very much. So we're going to open it up, feel the spine, look for any initial damages or any ripped pages. And is this similar to what you used to do when you did this? Okay. Well, like I said, I think you're going to do a great job. And this is all something too that does take a little bit longer, so we typically have at least 2 people working at the register, so you'll have help. So this is Crawdads sing by Delia Owens. I might need a little bit more ink here. Perfect. Always make sure you replace the cap on the ink because unfortunately they do dry out very, very quickly. So just slip it under there. Okay. And let's get another practice book. It's another hardcover we can look at. Cursion, Blake, Crouch. So you can see by the front of this book that it's not as crisp. It's been checked out a lot, but it's definitely not bad. I also noticed some water damage on these pages, so it's not something of concern right now, but eventually this book will need replaced. So you see we have the tape still on here, which is good. This is actually a very good book if you've never read it. I highly recommend it if you like sci-fi books. So it actually looks like quite a few pages are water damaged. But like I said, that's okay for now. Let's fill out a card. Let's go for yellow to make it match. Blake, Crouch, and Cursion. Perfect. Slip it in here. So here's another paperback. And this one you can see is in decent condition again. Looks like some middle pages might be a little loose though. So if that were to happen, we can tape up the spine, or we can see if we can order another copy. So just let me know if you find one's in really bad condition. The pages look pretty good. The only thing I'm noticing is there is no place to scan this into our system, so I will have to add a new label. Alright, so 2 more to practice with. And let's go with this one. So this is a very heavy book, and it's a cookbook. Wonderful. Do you cook a lot? So do I. It's one of my favorite things to do to relax. So this is Half-Baked Harvest. Super simple. One of my favorite blogs. So for these larger books again, you just want to check the spine. This one's a little bit loose, so it's been checked out a lot. But it's still holding up. Looks like we did put a little bit of tape in here. So let's look at the pages. This sounds delicious. Baked cinnamon butter brioche French toast with any fruit jam. That sounds so good. I love breakfast. Alright, so this looks pretty good overall. The one thing I'll say about cookbooks is you will likely find food or smudges in them. Obviously, people use them to cook at home, so you just want to double check that before loaning it out to the customer. Okay? And same deal. So let's get a card here. Super simple by Tegan Gerard. And due date. Okay. And just put it inside. So, speaking of old books, you will have a lot of customers check out books that are in this condition. So, this is obviously very worn, very old, and very delicate. And most of our Nancy Drew books are like this. Some of them are a bit of a newer style, but a lot of them are like this as well. So when you open it up, you can see some damage right here. So the spine is coming apart a little bit, so I would recommend that we tape it. And then I'm sure the pages are very, very delicate as well. So, this isn't in the worst condition I've seen, but obviously just very delicate, so we'll tape it, and again, check for any other damages. Looks like the biggest problem is the spine. So we get a card here. So the secret of Red Gate Farm. Carolyn. And then stamp. Just gonna get a little bit more here. Just stick this inside. Alright. And two more things as well. So you can provide every customer with a bookmark. So we always have different styles every month. So this is the one this month. You can take one if you'd like. Do you have any questions about going through the books, the checkout process? Not now. Well, it's fine if you do. Trust me, I had tons of questions when I first started working here. So we also have these little flyers, and I typically just give one with a bookmark when someone's checking out. So this has some youth activity information, some information about a paint day a Lego building afternoon, weekly story time, and then just some information about how to register for the events. We always like to spread the word about our wonderful children's activities. So, how do you feel? Are you ready to take on a real customer? You think so? Good. Well, I'll be here for your first shift. It looks like we're opening in about 5 minutes. So, perfect timing. I think you're going to be a great assistant, and I'm so excited to work with you. Any last minute questions? Okay, good. Well, let's get ready for a very busy Saturday then. And like I said, I'm here for you if you need anything. Good luck, and I look forward to a great day with you.